Jon Jones said he needed 6 months to prepare for Aspinall if he's going to fight Aspinall. So they were trying to make a deal, and then he decided to retire. But it's 6 months because he's not training. And Aspinall is a fucking beast, man.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of questions. Never been out of the first round. A lot of questions, but never been out of the first round because he fucks everybody up in the first round. Like, that's a factor.
Yeah. I forget which interview it was recently, but Jon was pretty honest in it. He was like, look, man, like, I don't want to fight up-and-coming tough guys.
I'm going to call him this. Fight the nobody. Maybe more dangerous.
He was like, I want to fight guys with seasoned champions that have names.
Or fight the guy with all the accolades.
And I think he's wrong because I think Aspinall's a star. And I think he's saying who is no one. Aspinall's a star. When people ask questions to me all the time, like casuals on the street, is Jon Jones going to fight Tom Aspinall? It's constant. That's like the constant question.
At last, Joe Rogan has had enough. Many people in the MMA community believe that Dana White and the UFC have totally botched the heavyweight class. Rogan is now stating it clearly and loudly. Rogan didn't mince words in a recent exchange. He said that the UFC had swindled Tom Aspinall by shielding Jon Jones for an excessive amount of time.
Which is Tom Aspinall fights Pavlich and takes that fight on 2 weeks' notice and becomes the interim champion and fucks his back up and can't train at all. But Aspinall, like, that guy's, he's something special. He really is something special. He's a very unusual example because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And his coach, Colin, I forget, it's from Cabal, this gym that he trains at in the UK, Colin Huron. He trained Darren Till. Colin, from the early days of the career, was like emphasizing his speed. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see, like, fuck, he's fast for a big guy.
Right. Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
Of
just
course,
won
he just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is,
Yes.
again, the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see, like, he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
Jon was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's
lucky,
a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on
well.
him. Unless Jon avoided him, unless Jon used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, you know what that's all about.
Correct. It's called the Shop Shutdown.
Shop shut down.
I saw a 7-part
They did with
series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight, which is just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak athlete.
Very fast. Very fast for a
God,
heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah,
And-
but we felt the same way about Cyril Gane.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but
Cyril
Cyril
Gane
Gane
is-
doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground.
Black belt.
Very legit on the ground.
So legit that
dad-
his dad owned a jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks, you're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Kane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
It's a bit of a problem for him, right? Because he has not been tested in that way. And, you know, you're getting up to elite status where you're calling out Jon Jones. I had heard a rumor that Jon Jones wanted $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. And I did hear that rumor. And I did hear that the UFC said yes, but it is not true. So Dana contacted me, said that rumor's bullshit. So I felt obligated to tell everybody that was a fake rumor.
What do you think the amount is that Jon Jones would fight him for, or do you think it's an amount?
Well, apparently Jon is thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
And he should. I mean, he's going to have to someday. He should. I'm not saying he should retire. I'm saying he should think about it. Give the man all the time he wants. He can fight whenever he wants to fight. That's Jon Jones. He's the GOAT. So leave him alone. If he decides one day to come back, and he comes back and he wants to fight Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, the question is, like, how long are you allowed to hold on to the title before they start having that conversation? Now, he just knocked out Stipe Miocic, so give the man months. Give the man 5 or 6 months. Just leave him the fuck alone. But at a certain point in time, you have to decide who the heavyweight champion is. And if Tom is the interim heavyweight champion and Jon decides he doesn't want to fight anymore, he could do that. And he could do that also and then come back in a year and fight for the title. He could do that. Like, he could do whatever he wants.
For more than a year, the MMA world has been clamoring for a Jones versus Aspinall bout. What did we get in its place? Delays, silence, excuses, and finally retirement. Rogan believes that Jon Jones ought to have taken on Aspinall. However, Dana in the UFC continued to give the champ a pass rather than applying pressure. Aspinall was left with an interim belt and no clear direction after the pass ultimately caused the division to freeze.
Exactly how bothered he was. Because Jon Jones, like, you know, even though he thinks he's smart, he's a child, right? And he doesn't realize in all of that coping, we can read him like a fucking book. And all he's done is kind of promoted Tom Aspinall for an entire year in this tour that he's gone on, in showing you're scared of him, mate, and we fucking know you are. Because actions speak louder than words. And Jon Jones has moaned his entire career about fighter pay. He named his price. Dana White gave him it and said, yep, no problem. And he still turned down the fight. This is a man motivated by money. He never shuts up about it. You get your biggest payday ever, and you still haven't got balls to step a toe in that fucking cage with him. I know a lot of Jon Jones fans, you know, will be hating and all of that, and, you know, he doesn't need the fight, whatever. His heavyweight legacy has been the worst of any heavyweight we've ever seen as a champion. You know deep down, your boy bottled it. And anyone who's deluding themselves into thinking otherwise, you gotta grow up, man. It's so obvious what's going on here. And I get it, you know, you're emotionally attached to a fighter. He won all of those fights. He's the GOAT in your eyes, but you have to understand, he's now the duck. He is the duck, and he will be the duck forever. If Tom Aspinall loses a fight to someone who has got the balls to step in the cage with him, he'll be immediately on Twitter, say, I told you he wasn't that good. I've always been better than him.
And what is now going to happen in your career going forward in the heavyweight division, all right? What are your feelings towards him?
First of all, thanks for keeping it short, because I have said that I'm not going to speak about it anymore. My feelings towards him, I just wish him all the best. Genuinely wish him all the best. If he feels satisfied with what he's done, which he's saying he is, and he's happy to leave like that, then I genuinely wish him all the best.
Do you think that that is it?
I don't know him. Don't know him at all. Met him once. Don't know anything about him, so I don't know.
Say it, sorry, it was short.
It was short and sweet, thank you.
No, but you can understand that that has been quite a huge part of the narrative over the last 12 months, and a lot of fight fans will have their attitudes as to why that decision has been made and what have you. I kind of agree with you. At the end of the day, with the legacy that he's had and what he's done in the sport, he has the right to make a decision for himself. Personally, as a fight fan, I just wish that he'd done it a little bit earlier, so therefore we wouldn't have had that narrative over the last 12 months, because I can imagine it's been incredibly frustrating for you from a personal point of view and a professional point of view as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I mean, I feel like a broken record, I keep banging up, but all I wanted to do was fight. I just wanted to fight. I've not been to work, mate, for nearly a year. I know people see me online and doing all the rest of it, but my main job is fighting people. That's what I do. I've not done that for almost a year, and none of it has had anything to do with me.
Right, perfect. This is where I want to go with, okay, right? Because I think a lot of people have an understanding of you. I'd like to say that obviously we spent a bit of time, so I kind of like to get inside your head a little bit more and pick the little things that go on inside. How have you dealt with that? Because I remember speaking to you during the time that you were out injured with your knee. That was a tough challenge from a psychological point of view.
Yeah.
This is different, because when you're out with your knee, it's on me now. I'm going to get fit and get my knee back, and we're going to get rocking and rolling. The last 12 months hasn't been kind of on you. So how was that a different mental challenge?
This, and I can say this now that it's over, because the thing with me, when I'm in difficult situations, I try not to complain about it as much. This last year has been more difficult than the year I had out with the knee.
Jon wasn't the only person Rogan blamed. He held the system accountable. the same system that is now attempting to portray Jones as the scapegoat in order to get out. At the most critical point of his career, Tom's progress was halted. Furthermore, Rogan isn't the only one who is frustrated. Fans are the source of it.
Done it on the night. Did Henry Cejudo need a legal document to relinquish the belt? Did George St. Pierre need a legal document to relinquish the belt? Here's where he's right. He has done enough. But it was just so frustrating to see this story, which we all knew was going to a very likely conclusion, not just play out. I can't even imagine how the Aspinalls feel about all this. It's 12 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and they get a call saying, oh, by the way, over in Baku, we just announced you're the heavyweight champion. Your life's work has come to a culmination, and God bless. We'll see you soon, all right? We'll let you know who you're fighting. What? What the hell? And you could do the whole like, oh, there's always going to be someone else. There was literally no one else.
Just come back from Vegas. Meetings have been done. And I now have a fight, which I can't announce, unfortunately. That's not my job. But at least we've got a date. We've got an opponent to work towards. Yeah. Everything's good. Very happy with that. And I can finally get my career going again.
Did you have any idea what you're doing next and when you'll be back in the octagon?
I do, but I also want to keep my job. So there's not much I can say on it, to be honest. But
will you be fighting this year?
I'm going to be fighting hopefully twice this year. That's my plan. At least. I think I've wasted enough time. We're looking for a quick. We're looking to get a fight booked quick, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty soon anyway. And then hopefully, if everything goes well in the first one, I'm uninjured, which is, it's easier said than done, getting through a fight.
Coaches, fighters, everyone. People want to know why the UFC waited so long for Jon Jones, even if he had no desire to compete. When Jones was injured and out of commission for months, why wasn't the championship revoked? Why is Aspinall still without a confirmed opponent? Even after Jon declared his retirement, there are still whispers that he may return for a unique super fight against anybody other than Tom, perhaps even in the White House, versus Francis. Rogan claims it would be a shame to the division if it were to occur. The reality is that Tom Aspinall is prepared. He deserved this opportunity. He has turned up, remained active, prevailed in battles, and carried out all his duties well. Whether Tom is prepared for Jones is not the issue at this time. The question is whether the UFC will at last begin to treat its real heavyweight champion fairly.